What is your full name?
Ronald Kinney.
Could you spell Delisle, please?
Capital D-E-L-I-S-L-E.
Okay. And who were your parents?
Ellsworth Kinney and Della Kinney.
Okay. And your mother's maiden name was?
Mullen.
Okay. And when were you born?
October 11th, 1913.
Okay, and where were you born?
That house up there.
Okay, and do you know who your grandparents were?
Yes, Charles Kinney. He lived just down here in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife's name was Emma. And my mother's parents lived down to Weymouth North. And it was John Mullen and Emma Mullen.
Okay. And how large was your family?
There was 4 of us.
Okay, and where do you fit in the family?
I'm the oldest.
And what did your father do for a living?
He fished most of his life, along with other things.
Okay. What do you remember about your mother's work day? Whether that was at home or if she worked out?
No, she worked home. Them days there wasn't much outside.
Right.
Yeah.
And could you tell me anything about her work day at home? The things that she had to do?
Well, she did everything. Around what you do home with 4 kids and,
Right. That's okay. Okay, what was a typical school day like for you?
Well, it wasn't like it is now. It was down here at the Ashmore school. I think there was 50 or so in the school, 1 teacher. And,
1 teacher for 50 students?
Well, when I started, but it cut down a little after a while, but I think that's what there was that year when I started.
So was it all in one room?
Yes. Oh, yeah. 1 teacher, 1 room.
Wow. So what kind of things did you have to memorize at school?
Well, I don't know what you'd say about that. That was, we had the ordinary lessons, same as, I guess, every school. We had English and, and you had to, yeah.
Okay, how were you disciplined at school?
With a strap or in the corner.
Okay, how were you disciplined at home?
Oh, well, that was a little different. Wasn't like that.
Okay,
Wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad at home?
Oh, no, no.
Okay. What were your daily chores at home?
Oh, well, we had to look at we helped in the barn, the cattle and one thing and another, getting wood, kindlings and all that stuff,
After your chores were done, what would you do with your free time?
Well, in the evening it was always lessons. There was no radio or television or anything like that then.
Pretty amazing. Okay, what was your favorite holiday when you were a child?
Well, I suppose like most kids it would be Christmas. But anyway, summer was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me about Christmases at your house growing up?
Well, we always looked for Santa Claus and all that stuff for a while. We always had a good Christmas, yeah.
Okay, what favorite pets do you remember having?
Well, we never had a dog when I was home till on the last end. We had some cats, that's all. And we had a barn full of cattle.
Okay, what was it like at your house when the Sears or Eaton's catalog would arrive?
Well, I suppose everybody tried to get a hold of it first. Look it through, yeah.
So would your mother have done most of her shopping from the Sears catalog?
A lot of it, yes. Mostly Eaton's, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, where else did you get the things that you needed?
Weymouth. Then no car or anything, so we couldn't run to Digby. We get to Weymouth like that.
Did you walk to Weymouth?
Oh, no, we had a horse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you went shopping where?
And the different, let's see, well, there was Journeys and, what was it even? Mullins and Taylor's.
They were all variety stores?
They were different stores, yeah. Some with clothes and one thing another, yeah.
Okay. How much spending money did you have as a child?
Not much, very little. There was no way for a kid to get money then.
Right. Okay, what was your religion?
Baptist.
And what were Sundays like in your household when you were growing up?
Well, we usually went to church down here to Ashmore, and usually walked. Anyway, but I guess it wasn't like some. We had quite a lot of freedom. Yeah.
Okay, what was your favorite hymn?
I like them all.
Do you? Okay. What influence did your religion have throughout your life?
I don't know what to say.
Is it something that you've practiced since you were
Oh
a
yeah.
child?
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, how did you keep up with what was going on in the outside world? Like, how did you get your news?
Well, we had a few papers. Used to take the old Family Herald, and yeah, we had the daily paper some of the time, like that.
Okay.
I guess we didn't get too much news anyway.
Did anybody else live in your house with your family when you were a child?
My grandfather did. He boarded there.
Okay. And why did he live with your family?
Well, his wife died, and he didn't have too good eyesight. He couldn't handle, you know, he just ate there and slept there, but he went down to his own house down there during the day and like that.
I see. Okay, what did you grow and raise yourselves?
Everything we ate. You know, we had a good garden, and yeah, we grew all the different vegetables and everything.
And then you just kept those all winter?
Oh yes, yeah.
And in a root cellar? or
Yeah,
did
in
you?
the cellar, yeah.
And what about kind of animals did you raise?
Well, we had oxen, and another pair coming up, and a pair younger ones coming up, and we always kept a beef, and a pig, and hens.
Okay, did you barter for anything?
I don't think.
Okay. How much of what you needed did you make yourselves?
What would that
Would that
be?
be like clothes, or
Well, yeah, my mother, she sewed quite a lot.
did she?
Yeah.
For all of you children?
Yeah, work clothes, one thing or another,
Right.
all that, yeah.
So how did electricity change things for you?
Electricity never came home, I think 1930 or something. It only went through here when I was going to school, I think in the 20s. The last of the 20s is when the line went through,
Right.
and they put the lights in after that. I was away when they got electricity.
Okay. When did you get running water?
It was quite a while after that. I don't know just what year. I was away then. I wasn't living home then.
Right. Okay, who was the doctor when you were growing up?
Dr. Hallett and Dr. Elderkin in Weymouth.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and Dr. Pache.
Okay. And how far away did they live?
5 miles.
Okay. And who delivered the babies in your community?
I would say, well, up home I think it was Dr. Elderkin.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were some home remedies that would have been common when you were growing up?
For a cold?
Yeah, anything.
Well, we'd mix up miners and molasses. That helped.
And you had to drink that?
Oh yeah, you'd take that. It was good for a cold. Stop your coughing, one thing or another. Oh yeah.
Any other home remedies? And it doesn't have to be for a cold. It could be for a cut. It could be for anything.
Well, I guess about all we had was iodine for a cut or something, and yeah.
Do you ever remember using bread poultices?
Yeah, if you had a boil. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't think of any more?
Well, I never was sick much. I never had much trouble. I was lucky.
Right. Yeah, you look awesome for your age, Mr. Really, you look very well. How did did you take care of your teeth?
Well, you tried to keep them clean, one thing or another, but there was no going to a dentist and have them looked over for, you know.
Now, did you use toothpaste and a toothbrush back then?
Yeah.
Or did you use soda?
Well, some soda, but we used to use some toothpaste too. Yeah, oh yeah.
So how often would you see a dentist?
When I need the tooth pulled.
Okay, when someone died, how was the funeral handled?
Well, the undertaker was from Weymouth, Caird Nichols, and well, they came to the house and fixed them all up there, and as far as I know, put them in a casket. And the funerals was usually from the house. Now it's from the church.
So the body would remain in the house
Yeah.
for a few days?
Yeah.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? Okay, how often did you get to leave Ashmore?
I never left Ashmore till I went away. I had my 16th birthday in Wolfville. I went up there and worked to Acadia. I worked there. I didn't go to school there.
Right. Okay, when you got to leave Ashmore, where would you go?
Well, I think we went to Digby a few times. I went up on my bicycle or something, and to Weymouth. There was nowhere as much to go.
Okay, what were the roads like?
Dirt roads, and they were rough. In the winter, they were a mess.
Okay, who would look after the roads?
Well, I suppose the government that was in, they'd have somebody to, but they were still a mess. They were dirt roads, like this one out here.
Right. Okay, what did you expect to do when you grew up?
Well, I figured that I would fish, because my father did.
Right.
But I worked up there. I worked up there 8 years.
Okay, I'm going to get to that part a little later.
Yeah.
Here. Okay, what did you hope to do when you grew up?
Well, I went to grade 10 in school, and there wasn't much to look ahead to, but I figured that I would fish.
Okay. As a teenager, what kinds of things did you do for fun?
Well, it was all up there,
Okay.
you see.
Okay, who were your movie idols?
I don't remember having any because you never saw any pictures.
Okay. What kind of music did you like?
Well, I never was much of a musician. I like to hear singing and like that, but
Okay. What kinds of sports did you enjoy?
well, the only sports we got mixed up in was going to when we went to school, play ball and like that.
Right. What do you remember about dating?
Well, that all happened up there.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
10.
And why did you leave school?
Well, I left in the spring because the teacher we had, all she had was grade 10. She was trying to teach grade 10 with a school full of kids, and I wasn't getting anywhere, so I quit.
Okay, so how old were you when you left school?
15.
Okay. And once you left school, what did you do?
Well, that fall I went to Wolfville to work.
Okay, now you can tell me about Wolfville. So why did you go to Wolfville?
Well, I had a chance for a job there, and I went.
And what was the job doing?
Well, I was working in the dining hall in the kitchen up there.
At the
and
university?
getting, pardon me?
At the university?
Yeah. I started in the vegetables and dish room like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd be really interested in finding, how did you know about that job up there?
Well, there was some more here going,
Oh, I see.
working up there, and they wanted a fellow to come and ask me, and I went.
Did you like that job?
Well, yeah, it was good. The pay wasn't good, but there was no pay anywhere then. But it was inside, it was warm, we had good food, we had good place to sleep and everything, good rooms.
So you boarded out?
No, you stayed right there.
Okay.
You had good rooms, and they made our beds and everything for us. It was good, like that. Looked after our rooms. Yeah.
So how long did you work there for?
I stayed there 8 terms.
That's amazing. Okay, how did you meet your wife?
Right there.
Oh, really?
She was working there.
Oh, that's amazing. So how old were you when you got married?
24.
Okay. And what do you remember about your wedding?
Well, it was in Finney Cove. That's where she was from.
And where would that be?
It's in Annapolis. You know where Hampton is?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's 4 miles down. No, down this way on the
Okay.
shore. Finney Cove. That was her home.
Okay. Okay, once you were married, where did you live?
Here. Right here.
Okay. And how much did your first home cost?
Be pretty hard to say that because we built it and we had a couple rooms when we started, and we kept finishing.
Okay. Okay, when you were at Acadia, just describe to me briefly what kinds of things you had to do at your job.
Well, I worked with 3 other fellows getting the vegetables ready, and then we worked in the dishes. The dish room had a big dishwasher and like that. And then we had to work out in the kitchen some. And, yeah.
So how many hours a week would you have worked?
We worked 7 days a week. We had 1 day off a month. Wasn't like it is now.
No. Okay, what was your salary when you started that job?
$25 a month. There was a lot that wasn't getting. They would come there and want something to eat and everything. There was a lot of people wasn't getting any more.
So how much tax did you have to pay out of that?
Didn't have to pay any.
Okay. Okay, what do you remember about the Depression?
Well, that was the Depression. 10 days after I got there, the stock market crashed, and that's when the Depression started.
So that didn't affect your job, though?
Not the job, but we did get a little cut in pay.
Okay. Okay, what do you remember about wartime?
Well, I don't know what to say about that. I didn't get there anyway. Wife's brother was killed in that.
Okay. How did the First or the Second World War, affect your family?
Well, the first war, my mother had 3 brothers in it. 2 died. 1 didn't. And this one, last one, my wife's brother was killed over there.
Okay, what effect did the war have on Ashmore?
I don't know what you'd say about that.
A lot of men probably lost their lives.
Yeah, yes, around here, and yeah.
Okay, how did you plan for hard times or retirement?
Well, you tried to work and gather up all you could. But it was hard to get too much ahead.
Okay. How did people help each other out in days gone by that's different from now? So we found that people in yesterday, or years gone by, that they were so much more willing to help their neighbors
Yeah,
than what they do.
yeah, I know, because lots of times they'd have what they call frolics. You'd go and help them cut their firewood up and one thing or another. We never did that, but we went. And you get your supper or something and have a good time.
So what other kind of frolics can you remember? You say there was a wood-cutting one.
Yeah, and sometimes we'd go and haul wood for people, if they were sick or something. We've done that. Yeah. Because my father always had a team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the frolics were a big thing then.
Well, there was a summer round, and, pretty near everybody would go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you remember about the poor farm?
I don't remember anything about it.
Okay. Okay. How important was politics in days gone by? Are they as important or more important or less important, do you think, than today?
Probably they was more important. If you was on the right side, you might get a little work, but we was always on the wrong side, so we didn't get it.
Okay. What do you remember about election campaigns?
Well, it was only right around, you know, you didn't get anywhere, and when I was home here, but no radios like that. But after a while, after we got back here, why, it was a little different.
Right. Okay, can you tell me what Ashmore was like when you were growing up? Like how many stores would have been here roughly, or something like that?
Down here where Willard's father, they had a store. It's a little building that's still there. They're using it for a house now. And let's see, up to Gilbert's Cove there was a couple stores.
They were grocery stores, or?
Sold everything.
Okay.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay, how was the law enforced in Ashmore?
Pardon me?
How was the law enforced in Ashmore?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
There wouldn't have been any police or anything back then?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, who was the largest employer in Ashmore?
The largest. Well, I suppose you'd be the road. That's all, the boss on the road or whatever. That, I mean, it was everybody else worked for themselves, like.
Oh yeah.
And they'd probably work in the woods and sell some logs or like that, or wood. And I know here we fished, and that was a pretty good job.
Okay, did you belong to any organizations when you were growing up? Like the Masons or the Knights of Columbus or anything like that?
No, I belonged to the Masons, but I did that in later 1951.
Okay, so how important were the Masons in your community?
Well, they only started a couple of years before that. They were way back, and then they closed up, and then they started again in 1949, I think.
Okay, can you tell me anything more about them? Like, for instance, like the rituals or the ceremonies or anything like that? Are the Masons, are they still around here today?
Yeah, they're going good right now.
Okay, so what kind of things do they do?
Well, it's usually inside the lodge, but they help out in some things. Oh yeah, now they got a program. The lodge pays $250, and the government and the Grand Lodge pays $500 to a student.
Oh yeah.
We do that.
Oh, that's good.
And that helps some kids out, you know. You can help out a couple that way.
Okay, when would people get together for a good time?
Well, I suppose in the summer they used to have picnics and different things, yeah.
Now, was that done through the community or through the church, or?
Mostly through the church they'd have their own, yeah.
And maybe once in the summer you'd have a big old picnic?
Oh yes, oh yeah.
And what kinds of things would you do there?
Oh, they'd play games, one thing or another. And then the families would have get together too. Some of the time was down here to the shore because we had camp down there, same as they are now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Play some music?
Yeah, some. Yeah.
Okay. What do you remember about tourisms in days gone by? Like, were there very many tourists that ever came here in years ago?
Down to Weymouth North, there was a couple of hotels down there.
Oh yeah.
Bayside and the other one, Sunset, I guess.
Okay. How superstitious were people when you were growing up?
Well, some of them were. Never bothered me any, but a lot of them were superstitious, more so than now.
Can you think, do you know any of the superstitions, things that they'd be scared of or superstitious about?
If a bird got in the house, I know one woman had curtains with birds in or something. She got them out of there. That was, yeah.
Okay, what is the worst weather that you can remember?
We had an August gale that washed a lot of our beach out down there and everything. Yeah.
Do you know roughly when that would have been?
It's back in the 20s. Yeah. Never had any as bad as that since. Yeah.
So that was in the summertime too.
Oh yeah,
So
this
the
was.
weather was nice and warm.
Yeah, but it was a hurricane. We got it. You see.
Okay. Do you know anything about any shipwrecks from around here?
The vessel that went from Weymouth. She was from Weymouth. Got on Gull Rock, the Westway,
Now, where's Gull Rock?
down off of Westport.
Oh, okay. You don't know the name of the ship or anything?
Westway.
Westway? And when was that?
Well, it must have been back in the 20s, I guess, because
Okay. And were there very many people on the boat?
I wouldn't know how many. They wouldn't have a very big crew, but they all got off.
Oh, they lived.
Oh yeah.
So
Lost.
why did the ship go down?
Well, she piled on Gull Rock.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can you remember any colorful characters from your community?
No, I guess.
Okay. What ghost stories can you remember from your younger years?
No, I don't know anything about ghost stories.
Okay. Do you remember Maud Lewis at all?
Yeah, I've seen her. Her husband used to peddle fish.
Oh, yeah.
You'd see her quite often. So I know. Stop up home, Mom would buy from them. She'd buy some of her pictures and postcards and one thing or another she'd have that she had painted.
Did you ever see her?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So can you describe her to me?
I don't know how you describe her. I don't know how she ever painted her hands and everything, but she'd done all right, a lot better than I could do.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Okay. How would you compare life in general today to days gone by?
Well, it's better this way. We have electricity, we have a television, electric organ, and all that stuff. Back them days, we didn't have that. But I can't see as we're living a bit better now than we did then. We lived good.
Okay, Mr. Kinney, that's about all that I have. If there's anything that you want to talk about or say about life when you were growing up, feel free.
I guess probably for them days we were quite lucky. Home. I don't know. Is that going to be any help to you?
That'll be lots of help, trust me. Okay, I'll shut everything down.